Hello, and welcome back to Campus Combat.
Welcome back. I'm very excited to be back, and we're going to be talking about a very special card.
UFC 327.
In Miami, Florida.
And yours truly,
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there doing media for the UFC.
Official media.
Yep, I'm very excited.
She made it.
I made it, bro.
This is big time, guys.
Big time. Hopefully next time Ben can join me, but this is going to be crazy. I'm going to be there doing interviews for Campus Combat.
Asking some questions. You better ask some banger questions.
I'm going to ask some banger questions. So, do you just want to get into it, Mr.
Let's just
Hughes?
get right into the meat and potatoes of it. Let's start with the main card. Let's go top to bottom. Mm-hmm. Like we always do.
Yep.
Yuri Prochazka, Carlos Ulberg.
Banger. I think that's a really good banger. Let's point out the obvious. Tatsuro Tara and Joshua Van are not fighting anymore because Joshua Van got injured. But I don't know. I think this card is still a banger.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to be there. And, yeah, Jury versus Ulberg, crazy. I feel like this is my lock of the night. My lock of the night is going to be Jury Prochazka. I feel like he's going to get it done. Maybe KO or TKO. He's very great at getting those finishes. What do you think, though?
Yeah, I was about to ask you, do you think this is going to go the distance? Because I don't think it goes the distance. I think Yuri Prochazka gets a TKO, maybe even a sub, late rounds, maybe like 4 or 5. We saw against Glover Teixeira a long time ago, we saw him just go to war and then get a late fluke submission at the very end. I think he will be, for the most part, dominating this fight, will Yuri. But yeah, I think he gets it done against Carlos Ulberg. Ulberg is very good off the back foot, and Yuri is a guy that always pressures. So that's one thing that Ulberg does have against him. But I just think the pressure of Yuri is going to be too much for him. Ulberg has never faced a guy like Yuri. And I mean, Yuri's one of one.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's one of one. No one else really fights like him. He's so weird and unorthodox. He just throws some stuff at you that you never see coming. And that's what makes him so hard to defeat. The only person who's ever beat him in the UFC is Alex Pereira. So I don't think that Ulberg has that kind of aura, that kind of power that Pereira has. So I don't think he gets it done. I like Yuri in this one a lot. Like I said, I think he gets a late round TKO or sub.
I feel like he's going to get a TKO or a KO. Jerry has incredible power. As we saw in his last fight, I think that was his last fight with Khalil Rountree. Yep. He completely dominated Khalil. I thought Khalil was going to win that one. But after saying that, I was like, Jerry's a different breed. So This is why Jerry is my lock of the night for this card. Because he's just a great fighter, and he went toe-to-toe with Alex Pereira, and people have not done that before. Even though Alex Pereira is moving up to heavyweight, Jerry's going to be the next big thing in light heavyweight, I believe. That's
why I think he is going to be a dominant light heavyweight champion, just because Pereira's going up. There's no one else that can beat him, I don't think. Yeah. And that's just it. Like, when you think about, dude, Yuri Prochazka is different. He is not losing to Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg is very good in his own respect. Yeah. But like I said, he's not faced someone like Yuri.
He hasn't faced someone like the opponents that Yuri has faced.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think that he's going to stand up to Yuri as much as people may think he is going to do, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the Khalil Rountree fight. The one thing about Yuri is that he does kind of start off a little bit slow. He did in the Khalil Rountree fight. Khalil's piecing him up. I mean, Khalil's a great striker. Yeah. Yuri, kind of questionable defense, but he has a great chin. I don't think Ulberg has power, but I don't think he's got the power to knock out Yuri like we saw with Alex Pereira. And that was why his weakness is Alex Pereira, just because he leaves himself so open sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, his chin is great. I don't think his chin is really cracked. I like his chin to hold up. 5 rounds is a long time, and that's why I favor Yuri, because he has more time to gain momentum and build. He builds really well throughout these fights, like he did against Khalil Rountree. He lost the first round, maybe even the second round. But in the third round, it was guns blazing. Khalil gassed out, and Yuri just completely took over.
Yeah. Jerry for this one. Anything else for that one, or you want to go into the next one?
I mean, I think that one is like I said. I think that's all Yuri. I think he's gonna. I could see Ulberg maybe taking the first round or two. Yeah. And you might be a little concerned. You might be like, oh, Yuri might actually lose this one. But then I think he's just going to take over. I think Ulberg might gas out a little bit. It's a 5-round fight. It's a long time to fight. So I don't know if Ulberg is really ready for that. He did face Dominic Reyes in his last fight. It was supposed to be a 5-round fight. Didn't go the distance. He did KO him. And honestly, I don't know if Dominic Reyes is really a guy that's going to warrant you getting a title shot at this point. Reyes is chinny. He's not what he used to be. He's not peak form beating John Jones. Nowhere near that. So, yeah, I don't really think that Olberg is necessarily the caliber that Yuri is.
So going into the next fight, Paulo Costa, this is very last minute fight. I don't know if they had this in mind. UFC always has stuff in mind if one of them goes through. But Mirza Kanov versus Paulo Costa. This pretty good co-main. I mean, I'm not complaining. And Paulo Costa is a good fighter. I would have loved to see, Jiri and Olberg as the co-main, and then, or vice versa. Joshua Van would have been better. But I'm still not going to complain because it's a pretty good fight. I feel like I have Paulo Costa for this one. Okay. I know people can maybe sleep on him because he's not the best, grappler in the world or striker in the world or even, fighter in the world. He's not one of my favorites, but what do you think about this one? I feel like this is a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it's I'd say it's somewhat even. The only thing is Paulo Costa is moving up in this fight. Missed weight a couple times at middleweight. The UFC probably just told him, hey, you're going to have to move up. You can't keep missing weight here. So I do like Paulo Costa. I think he's good. He got his last win, I think it was against Kopylov. But Mirzakhanov is a very fast light heavyweight. Paulo Costa was not necessarily fast for middleweight. And I think that Mirzakhanov is also more powerful, too. Mirzakhanov is undefeated. He just came off a win against Alexander Rakic, knockout win. I think he does the same thing against Paulo Costa. I think he knocks him out.
I saw that he does have an undefeated record. But I feel like if Paulo Costa would get it done, I feel like he could get it done by submission. I don't know why I say submission, but I feel like he could get it done by submission. Both of them can probably go on the feet with each other, stand on the feet. It could be an even fight. I feel like maybe it can go to decision. Yeah, either submission by Costa or decision by either of them. But I think that Paulo Costa can maybe get it done, hopefully, this fight, even though, he'll take this guy's O or not. But I feel like it'll be a good fight regardless.
For sure.
They're both good fighters in general. I don't really watch Paulo Costa too much to know exactly his style or something, but I feel like I can see him getting a submission considering, I feel like he trains with one of the best grapplers in the world, he's Brazilian, so I feel like everyone that's Brazilian has good grappling, most Brazilians, but yeah, what do you think other than, your decision on having Mirzakhanov?
Yeah, Mirzakhanov. Yeah, I just think Paulo Costa's a little too clunky, maybe for the light heavyweight division. I don't think he's really fast enough. That's the thing. He's a very muscular guy, but a lot of times you see that's not the best thing in the world for these fighters. Sometimes it just makes them not as mobile, more stiff. I think that's the case with Paulo Costa. He's a little bit stiff, and Mirzakhanov is unfortunately he has got a history of failing PED tests. I think that is also, so look at Paulo Costa too, though. This guy is a
secret juice.
Yeah, definitely got some juice going on. But Mirzakhanov, has a history of failing PED tests. I think he's kind of just an animal in there, and he's gonna piece up Paulo Costa. Like I said, I don't know if he's gonna get the KO. I think it will be a KO, but I can see also going to decision. But I just don't think Paulo Costa has what it takes in this one, especially just moving up. I think that's the big thing. You're moving up a whole weight class. Middleweight to light heavyweight is a big difference, and I don't think it really pans out well for Paulo Costa. I think the odds are really against him.
Yeah, I feel like you have someone who's accustomed to the weight class, and then someone who's moving up, so he's gonna feel the power difference for sure. But I don't know. I feel like Paulo Costa can probably get it done. I feel like this is just an iffy fight for me, to be honest. Paulo Costa, I'm just so accustomed to him being in the middleweight division with these guys, so it seems like, he can dominate at middleweight. He probably can dominate at light heavyweight, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just 50-50, to be honest.
Yeah.
Decision, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I could obviously go in decision.
Yeah, but next fight is, I honestly like this fight. Isn't Hulkett ex NFL player or something like that? Or
Hokit, I believe he used to play in the NFL.
Yeah,
he played for the Niners.
So Blades versus Hokit. Who do you have for this one?
I got Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
I was kind of going back and forth on this one, but I fall on Curtis Blades just on this because Hokit has really not proven much. He's looked good in his last couple fights. Faced Denzel Freeman, unranked heavyweight. We know about unranked heavyweights.
Yeah.
They're nobodies. They're not really that good.
They just get there because they're bigger and in
they're a little bit more athletic than everyone that's trying to be a UFC heavyweight. It's just kind of just low skill level. Curtis Blades does have a track record of getting KO'd by some of these good strikers, but I don't know if Josh Hokit is really at that level yet. This is a huge step up. He goes from unranked to the number 5 heavyweight in the world. And we've seen Curtis Blades be in the situation a couple times now where they've just thrown him in there against some up-and-coming unranked contender.
Yeah.
And he's won those fights. I think that he is a top 5 gatekeeper in the heavyweight division. And I think that Josh Hokit, it's a little bit too fast for him. I don't think he's really ready yet. I think he's a very good fighter in his own respect. Will definitely be in the top 5 at some point. But all of a sudden, just throwing him to the wolves against Curtis Blades, I just don't think that's a great idea. Josh Hokit's only 8-0 in his entire MMA career. Curtis Blade 19-5. I just don't think Josh Hokit's necessarily ready yet.
Yeah, I have Curtis Blades for this one. He's been in the UFC since 2016. Like 10 years now. And I feel like Hokit got this. I feel like for heavyweights, it's so easy to get into the bigger caliber fights because there's not too many heavyweights that are active and athletic enough to get those good fights. So that's why I think that Curtis Blades can really dominate him because Hokit got the fight too fast. He's on a winning streak right now, like all KO or TKO, but I feel like Curtis Blades has way more experience, and I feel like he can get it done. He can show that, I'm a vet and I can put you out for sure. So that's why I have Curtis Blades for this one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. Curtis Blades also pretty solid wrestler too. I don't know if we're gonna see much of that in this fight. But I mean, Josh Hokit also a pretty decent wrestler, so we'll see how the ground game goes with that. But I think this one will be primarily on the feet.
Yeah. The next fight, it's pretty good. I don't like one of the fighters. He's kind of cringy.
I don't know why you don't like him. He's so funny.
He's funny, but I feel like he stops trying at certain points in the fight. I don't know.
He's just here to entertain. He's like a Michael Chandler. He's like a Terrence McKinney.
Exactly. But Reyes versus Walker. Who do you have for this one?
This is my lock of the night. Not for who's gonna win, because that's just a dart throw. Either this is just like chin or be chinned, right?
Yeah.
But that's why my lock of the night is going to be this fight ends in a KO. No doubt about it. I mean, these guys are gonna go to war for like probably a round and a half, if even that, and someone's getting knocked out. I think Dominic Reyes is going to be on the receiving end of that knockout. Ooh. Johnny Walker, I think, gets it done. They're both very chinny, right? I don't think Dominic Reyes possesses that kind of knockout power anymore, though. Knocked out last fight against the guy in the main event, Carlos Ulberg. Johnny Walker knocked out the up-and-comer Zhang Ming Yang. Yeah, I trust Johnny Walker a little bit more, which is... I know I'm gonna regret saying that I trust Johnny Walker. No one should ever say that. Those words should never come out of anyone's mouth if they trust Johnny Walker, because every time you pick hhim, he's gonna lose. And there's another fighter on this card where every time you pick him, he's gonna lose. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I think Johnny Walker has a little bit more power. Both of their chins are I say equally bad.
Yeah.
But I think Johnny Walker has like the kind of just the weirdness to kind of just beat Dominic Reyes and just kind of out-athlete him.
I think it's funny because Dominic Reyes is going to be going into this fight like next to Carlos Ulberg, who dominated him last fight. So he's probably going to be like extra motivated, like trying to to show him that I'm going to beat this guy because you beat me. I feel like I'm so 50-50 with this one. I don't know. I feel like Dominic Reyes is a pretty good fighter. Like, I really can't count him out too much. I feel like he's a fan favorite, not too much as Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker, he's funny and people like him because of it. But I just don't like there's like this certain fight that he got knocked out, and I feel like he just quit. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like at this caliber fights, you shouldn't be quitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree.
But I feel like I'm gonna just disagree with you, and I'm gonna say Dominic Reyes for this one, just to keep it interesting. I feel like Dominic Reyes, I don't think it's gonna end up in a KO. Maybe they can take the distance, or maybe a TKO. I feel like one of them is gonna get gas.
Yeah, that's why that I said KO. I mean, it's KO or TKO, right?
Yeah.
I think someone's going out. It's not going the distance.
Yeah, I feel like one of them can get gas, certainly because they're so big, and I feel like their cardio is not the best.
I feel like if someone gassed out, it's going to be Johnny Walker, probably.
Yeah.
So if someone gets, like, flatlined, it's going to be Reyes.
Mm-hmm. I feel, that does make sense if Johnny Walker does get gas. But yeah, I feel like it could be a decision or just TKO when one of them gets gas. That's just me. But, next fight... or the last fight of the main card, I'm assuming, is going to be Swanson versus Landwehr.
This one's also like a 50-50 matchup. This one's weird. They're both kind of just unks. And like Cub Swanson, 30-14 in his MMA record. Landwehr, 18-7. But yeah, I don't know. This one's also 50-50. I'm going to go Nate Landwehr. Just because of what I've seen from him in his past couple fights. I guess he's kind of just beat better fighters. Neither of them have looked really necessarily that good. Landwehr coming off of 2 losses. Cub Swanson, like I said, just an unk. Not really. Neither of these guys are really going to be anything at this point. It's kind of odd that they are on the main card. I feel like there's a couple more fights that could have fit better on this main card. But yeah, what do you think?
Swanson is so unk. Like, he's been in the UFC since UFC was on Fox. Like, that's how unk he is. Maybe I feel like people can say, like, Cub Swanson can win, but I feel like he should. What if this is his retirement fight?
Yeah, it probably will be.
Like, he's been in the UFC for, like, 15 years.
He's 42.
Now.
I just looked up, he's 42.
That's insane.
Landwehr is 37, so not nearly as old, but it's they're both pretty old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cub Swanson's 42. I think this is going to be his retirement fight. Like I said, it's 50-50, but I'll go with the younger guy.
Yeah. Younger guy, but also Landwehr, he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and Cub Swanson won his last fight. But I don't know. Swanson is unk. Maybe he could win and retire, lose and retire.
Yeah.
I feel like this is his retirement fight. Pretty good main card for UFC Miami. We
got some important prelims, though. Like I said, I think there could have been some prelims that would have fit better on this main card. Pitbull versus Pico. That one's going to be pretty cool. I'm actually a little bit excited for this one. This one definitely has the potential of being a classic Bellator main event, just standing at range. Like, whatever. It's kind of boring. But Pico, we saw in his last fight, even though he did get knocked out in the first round by Lerone Murphy, he did put on a show. He came out there like a bat out of hell, guns a-blazing. Yeah. I don't know if he does this necessarily in this fight. Maybe in the second round he does that. I think he comes out a little bit more patient this time. He's not going to get KO'd twice in his first 2 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Right? But I think Pitbull is the one that's going to get it done this fight.
Yeah.
Pitbull, I do like him on a technical basis. I think he is a little bit better. He is older, but at this point we haven't seen anything that would suggest that his chin is gone, right? Yeah. Pico, we've seen him get chin more than Pitbull, even though Pitbull is a lot older. I do like Pitbull. Like I said, I think he's more technically sound, and I think this one's gonna be one that goes to decision. I think it's gonna be Pitbull.
I feel like this is a good fight for prelims. I feel like this couldn't have fit in the main card, considering they're both from like other organizations and they haven't proved themselves too much yet. Right. But I mean, Patricio Pitbull, I thought that Dan Ige was going to win last time, but he won against Dan Ige, which was kind of crazy. And I love Dan Ige, so that kind of hurt me right there. But Patricio Pitbull, I have him for this one. Aaron Pico has only had 1 fight in the UFC, and that was his debut. Like, he didn't really get into the Contender Series or anything like that because he came from a bigger organization. But I feel like this is a good fight, maybe for like the beginning of the main card, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Maybe kick off the main card, like where Cub Swanson and Nate Landwehr is. I think that fight could have fit there instead of swap them, right?
Yeah, for sure. But it's still a good place on the prelims. I've had Patricio Pitbull for this one. He's had 2 fights in the UFC. one loss in the beginning and then the win recently. So I think he's going to keep on that winning streak and win against Pico, maybe decision. It'll be good. I feel like it'll be a good fight, though. I feel like they're good, the good strikers, both of them. But yeah, Patricio Pitbull for this one. Anything else on that one?
That's really it. I mean, like I said, I'm pretty excited for that one, actually. It's going to be pretty interesting to see how that one plays out. 2 Bellator guys. It's kind of funny. I feel like the UFC maybe did this on purpose. Like, let's just put 2 Bellator guys in the prelims.
They're reminiscing on the Bellator
and they're
days.
like, yeah, this is why, like, this would be one of the biggest Bellator events ever if it happened in Bellator. And UFC just put it on the prelims.
They're like, Bellator doesn't exist anymore, so let's just put him on the prelims. Next fight, I actually like this fight because I really love Kevin Holland. So Holland versus Brown, big mouth. I love Kevin Holland, little big mouth guy. I feel like I'll always pick Kevin Holland regardless of who he's going against. I don't know.
Me too.
He's just a good guy.
It's always just like, I know I'm going to regret it. Like I said with Johnny Walker, I know I'm going to regret trusting Johnny Walker.
Yeah.
I'm going to regret trusting Kevin Holland, but I'm going to pick him in this one. All the signs point to Kevin Holland is going to take this. And I know that's just going to mean he's going to lose, right?
Yeah.
That's just, it makes sense. It makes too much sense, right?
I feel like we know Kevin Holland will lose, but like, I feel like I always pick him
anyway. I can't, if I pick against him, I'm going to feel even worse. So yeah, I got to pick Kevin Holland in this one. Randy Brown lost his last fight and then also lost 2 years ago against Brian Battle. He lost to Brian Battle.
Brian Battle, he can't even make weight, and he
guy's out of the UFC. Lost.
Goes to dirty boxing. Goes to karate combat.
He lost in karate combat. Like that's just not. This doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Randy Brown, none of his wins are aging well. His losses are aging horribly too. I think Kevin Holland is a little bit better. I think when you put Kevin Holland's back against the wall, he's going to perform. He's going to put on a show, and he's going to win. His last fight was horrible. I think his last fight was D-Rod.
Yeah, he gets absolutely dominated in the grappling.
D-Rod. He does, yeah. That's it. That's his weakness. And I'm not really sure what Brown is going to bring with the grappling if he can do that. I mean, he's more of a knockout artist, if anything. I don't think Kevin Holland's going to get knocked out in this one. I think Kevin Holland's going to take this one. Yeah,
Kevin Holland's on the 2-fight losing streak. His second to last fight that he had was D-Rod, and then Mallet, the most recent fight that he lost by decision. It was a fight night. I don't know. I always pick Kevin Holland, even though he'll lose. But he's just an entertaining fighter.
He is, and that's what we love about him.
Yeah,
we don't love him because he's a good fighter. We love him because he's entertaining.
Exactly. That's like, I feel like that's the most non-casual pick you could ever have.
Seriously, yeah.
Next fight, Gamrot versus Ribovich. Yeah. Good fight. I like Gamrot.
Yeah, I have Gamrot in this one also. Ribovich, he's gone to war in his last couple fights, and that's why I don't think he is going to do that well against a guy like Gamrot. Gamrot has great grappling. He was once touted as one of the best wrestlers in this division. We saw him get out-wrestled by Charles Oliveira, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You get out-wrestled by Charles Oliveira, that's okay. You can still be in the top 10 of this division and get out-wrestled by Charles Oliveira. We saw him out-wrestle Max Holloway. Saw him wrestle a ton of these guys. Wrestling Ribovich, I just think, has a weakness, and it's just he gets hit a lot. He gets hit a lot, and I don't think he is a very good technical fighter. He does excel in these like firefights. Those are the last couple fights he's won have been that kind of style. He beat Daniel Zellhuber. That win is not aged well at all. Daniel Zellhuber has looked horrible, and they went to a split decision in Mexico. And that's part of the reason I don't think really Esteban Rivix is that good. They had one of the best fights of that year, but I just think when he goes against a guy, and I don't think he's ready for the top 10. I don't think he'll ever be a top 10 fighter or even top 15 fighter. So it's kind of interesting that he's getting a shot against a top 8 fighter in the world. So yeah, I just don't think he's necessarily ready for that yet. I think he gets out wrestled. I think Gamrot is a little bit too good. I think Gamrot's a little bit overrated, but I think Esteban Ribovich is very overrated. Yeah, I have Gamrot for this one. I always pick American top team fighters, I feel like. But Gamrot has gone against the craziest opponents. I mean, Rafael Fiziev, Dan Hooker, and Charles Oliveira. Like, those are people that you really can't not give props to. They're great fighters. But yeah, Gamrot for this one for sure.
I have nothing else to say because I feel like Gamrot's going to win this one regardless. He's such a great fighter, and I mean, his last opponent was fucking Charles Oliveira.
Right.
Come on, let's talk about it. But yeah, next fight of the prelims that I'm very excited for as well is Suarez versus Godinez. She's a Mexican fighter. Godinez is a Mexican fighter. Great fighter. Who do you have for this one?
I have Tatiana Suarez just because she has shown more. I feel like she's beat better competition. But both these fighters are very good. I mean, Tatiana Suarez is number 2. Godinez is number 6. What do you think, though? I'm going to let you really take the analysis on this one.
Tatiana Suarez, I feel like she's great wrestler as well. She's been wrestling since she was like small. I think that Tatiana Suarez is going to get this dub. Her last win was against Amanda Lemos, and her only loss on her record was Zhang Weili. But it's Zhang Weili. Yeah. Like, we cannot really pick and choose. But I think Tatiana Suarez can get this done. I feel like she can get it done by submission. She's an incredible wrestler, has been wrestling since she was a child. Godinez is a great striker, but I don't think that she can knock Tatiana Suarez out. I feel like Tatiana Suarez can dominate her. Maybe it could be like a Marab or a Charles Oliveira BMF fight situation, just hold her down the whole fight. But if Tatiana Suarez gets that win, that's all that matters at this point.
This could also be like a lock of the night candidate.
I
just think Suarez has just fought better competition, and like you said, her only loss is against Zhang Weili. There's no shame in that whatsoever.
And it was a title fight, so she was up there. She got the title shot, and she didn't win, but you know, Zhang Weili is an incredible fighter. Do you want to go into the UFC Orlando card?
Yeah, I'm gonna rapid fire some early prelim picks. I mean, I think Francisco Prado is going to get the dub against Charles Radke.
Yeah.
I got Kelvin Gastelum against Vicente Luque. And then, Chris Padilla versus Markel Medeiros. Yeah, honestly, I've not done any research on this one. I'll keep it a buck with you guys. I'm going Markel Medeiros. Let's get it done. All right. Yeah, let's go in the UFC Orlando card. Yeah. As you know, we're from Orlando. Got to put on for the city. We're going to put on a pay-per-view for Orlando, for our people, right?
It's 407 day today.
Oh, it's 407. Our producer, Mia Flores, just informed us today is 407 day.
Holy peak.
So...
Holy peak.
We are doing a Orlando card on 407 day. So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
it's just fitting, I guess.
Fitting, beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, there's a couple guys that train in Orlando that are from Orlando in the UFC. You got to give them some love on this one. We'll start from the bottom up. We just did the main card. We're not gonna do the prelims. We just got main card. It's gonna be 5 total fights. It's gonna be an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're the best matchmakers on YouTube, self-proclaimed. But first fight, Terrence McKinney versus Michael Johnson. We know how this one's going to go. I'm sorry, Michael Johnson. Your time's come.
They train together, though. So it's like, I feel like they would like be in a fight all friendly and stuff. But do you think Terrence McKinney will get this done for sure?
Yeah, he'd slam out Michael Johnson. Not even close. Golden Freddy just
sleep him?
Yeah.
I like Terrence McKinney.
I love Terrence McKinney. He's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. So entertaining. It's like he goes out there and he just slugs for 2 minutes. And if he's like losing, he'll just gas out. He'll just like kind of lay there. But oh my God, those 2 minutes are just like the most. If you want someone to start watching the UFC, you want someone to get introduced to the sport, show them a Terrence McKinney fight.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Or even Michael Johnson is a good fighter as well.
Yeah, yeah. He's skilled in his own regard for sure.
He knocked out Joshua Van.
That's Charles Johnson.
Oh, wait. Who? Oh, you're talking about Michael Johnson. I was thinking about Charles Johnson.
Charles Johnson. Yeah, I should have put Charles Johnson on this one.
I was so confused.
You know, we come up with a Charles Johnson matchup real quick. We could do Charles Johnson versus like someone in the top 15, like Bruno Silva.
Yeah, I see that.
They probably fought before, though.
Have they?
I don't know, maybe. Charles Johnson. Record, UFC.
I was going to say, Terrence McKinney and Charles Johnson do train together, so I was like,
yeah,
that would have been weird.
Yeah, they both live in Orlando. So.
But the next fight that you put on here?
They literally fought in their last fight. I'm tripping. Charles Johnson and Bruno Silva literally just fought.
Yeah.
But yeah. Charles Johnson could fight a little. Who's a flyweight that's like up and coming, or like just kind of like a decent flyweight?
I don't.
Like a Kyoji Horiguchi, somebody like that. I think he's a little too good for Charles Johnson, but maybe like a Hyung Sung Park. Is that his name? Yeah, Hyung Sung Park.
I feel like Charles Johnson has fought everyone.
He's just so active. Charles Johnson is very active.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the better flyweights. Just got some crazy power for flyweight. Honestly, that's really what he's good at. If Charles Johnson was to fight a guy like that, I think he'd knock him out. But yeah.
But next fight for the Orlando card, Burns versus Covington. We haven't seen Colby Covington fight in so long. I used to really hate Colby Covington, but he's such an entertainer. And I feel like he'll get a fight the attention that it deserves, I feel like, or a card. Sure. He's just so American.
He is.
That's all I could say about him. So American. And, I feel like Covington versus, what's his name? Jorge Masvidal. I know Jorge trains in.
Yeah. They hate each other.
They were best friends.
Like, that was just they got in a street fight.
Yeah, they were best friends before, and then now they have like that huge beef.
They're like college roommates, right?
Yeah. Now they have beef, but
yep.
Burns versus Covington. Who would you have for this one if it actually happened?
Oh, this would be like this is two unks matching up. Mm-hmm. I'd have to give the edge to Burns just because he's been a little more active. But I think this could definitely go either way. Covington coming off a long layoff, though. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to lean Burns.
Yeah. I feel like I would go Covington, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. I mean, they're both great fighters. I mean, Burns is a great fighter. Better fighter than Covington, but I feel like I would go Covington just for shits and gigs. Yeah.
Okay.
Next fight that you put on here is Chandler versus Fiziev. Honestly, sleeper pick, low-key.
Yeah?
Sleeper pick.
Yeah?
Fiziev, I feel like I couldn't choose against Fiziev in this situation. He's been toe-to-toe with Justin Gaethje, and I feel like I'll always glaze Justin Gaethje and people who have gone against him because he's just an absolute dog.
Yeah.
But who would you pick for this one in this instance? For
this one, I'd also have to go with Fiziev.
Yeah.
Chandler is going to be taking on Mauricio Rufy, who Fiziev just fought. Mm-hmm. Pretty interesting to see how that plays out. I think Rufy's going to destroy him. But yeah, in this one, I would have to also lean Fiziev. Chandler really not shown much in his time in the UFC. He's pretty old at this point, very chinny. I think Fiziev doesn't have like amazing power. He's got some pop to his shots though. I think Fiziev would probably put him out like TKO. Possibly.
Yeah. Fiziev has crazy hands, and as I said before, stood toe to toe with Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Next fight, Marty Fake Newsman, Kamaru Usman.
We got Usman and Covington on the same card.
Yeah. Marty Fake Newsman versus Gary.
You're dead. You're dead, Marty Fake Newsman.
You're dead. He was so rage baited. But I think, I don't know, man.
Ian
Gary is this really boring fighter.
I retired Shavkat.
He's a very boring fighter. I feel like
boring.
Kamaru Usman is getting so old, he cannot go on his knees anymore.
Hey, that narrative was squashed against Buckley.
Oh, yeah. But he didn't do any takedowns that required him to go on his knees.
That's true,
but he still dominated Buckley. Gary. I got Gary for this one. If it ever happens, if they want to bless us with a really good Orlando card.
This could make sense, too. Like, maybe not in Orlando, but Usman's a guy that's trained in Florida before, so that's why I put him on here.
Yeah.
But it's just a high-level matchup. This would be one, like a title eliminator. Just great matchup.
Yeah.
I think both these guys are in conversations to get the title shot next. I don't know who's going to get the title at welterweight. It's kind of so up in the air now. But I'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I think this is a title eliminator. It would be such a fire fight.
Yeah, I love Kamaru Usman, so this would be crazy. He's a good fighter. Ian Gary's a little boring, but I mean, still a good fighter. You can't judge him. But
for the main event of
the evening, Pantoja versus Joshua Van 2.
Cinema. We need to run this back, man. Come on.
Pantoja, man.
Back.
Pantoja.
Yeah, it's Pantoja, unfortunately.
People want to say this.
Listen.
Joshua Van, he could be a fake champion. Y'all can say that, whatever. But, I mean, Pantoja posted and stuff, broke his arm. Things happen in the fight game. But Pantoja's a different breed. Hopefully he can bounce back and is still a good fighter after, he broke his arm.
Yeah.
But I just want to see this happen. I don't want to see no Tatsuro Taira. I want to see Pantoja get the belt again. Yeah, what do you think? The same thing, right?
I think it's going to be Pantoja. Yeah, I think if they fought again, it would be Pantoja. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give a little sneak peek into the next pay-per-view. I think Van's going to actually get it done against Tatsuro Taira.
Yeah. Sleeper pick.
Nobody is really that confident in Joshua Van, and I think he is so good. I don't know. I just feel like since that first Pantoja fight, and he was celebrating after Pantoja broke his arm, I mean, he still won the title. I don't blame him for celebrating at all. But I think that's really have skewed people's view of Joshua Van.
Yeah.
And people are like talking like he's not good just because he was celebrating a win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? I feel like he stopped a little bit celebrating, but I mean, he won.
He's 23 years old. And he just won the title.
It changed his life for sure. He got all the money that he needed for his family, and yeah, I feel like I would have Pantoja for this one. Yeah. Even though Joshua Van is a good fighter, we saw that against Brian Royval, but yeah, great card to be honest.
Right.
407 day. 407 card. Please give us another Orlando card.
Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. Yeah. Anything else, Mr. Hughes?
This fight is going to be so good. I'm so excited. Yuri Prochazka is going to get the belt back.
Hopefully I get to meet him.
Let's go for that. You have to ask him at the press conference if he's a real samurai.
You're real samurai.
Did you just ask me if I'm a real samurai? Of course I'm a real samurai. How dare you ask that?
How dare you? With this little hat.
But let's go for that.
But
we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes. We'll see you in the next episode.
Hey, stay tuned for the content at UFC 327. Natalie's going to be pumping out some content, hopefully. We're going to be asking some questions. We're going to be doing some crazy stuff for UFC 327.
And yeah, just stay tuned, subscribe, and follow our Instagram.
The next one.
Yeah, tune into the next one. Bye-bye.